Alright. Again, just trying to get back in this stupid fucking habit, huh? Static. Yawn. Well, new video on my art channel did better than they normally do on their own, so that was good. Concerning my subscriber count and all that. Ooh, it's cold.
Onion nuggets.
We don't know Jorgen's.
I'm sour because, you know.
Why?
We don't know.
No one really knows why. I just woke up on the wrong side of the
Why
bed.
is so sour, TJ?
Why is TJ so sour? Maybe you know I'm sour about, Scotty, because it's never been this Jover before. You know what I mean?
What's wrong?
I'm tired of it being so Jover, you know? Anyway. I like these Vosh segments because Paul pretty much handles it. Paul, it's your time
He
to
said,
shine.
no, Paul said that, you know what?
I said I'm
like,
These Vosh segments are a little more involved too for me because I feel a need to not just like let them talk, but to bring up examples of their positions and what they were and what they are now and everything. So, all right, where's that Vosh discussion from way back when? Monday Matt had a movie. Oof, man, made me burp a little bit.
I can't be relied upon. Well, it's good to see all of your smiley faces here today, even if there's only a few. I'm sure there will be more as time marches forth. Don't worry about donating, my friend. You are a Patreon. Your donation is already made. Evening here is morning there. Well, fuck me, bro. Let me see if I can help this out a little bit by pausing. There we go. Okay, anyway. So I've got some things lined out for you guys today. I thought we could have a crack at talking about the conversation that went on today. If you haven't seen that, kind of sucks because we're going to talk about it here for a few minutes. But it's available up on Ideology, time-stamped and everything in the chat.
Is it?
So you can
or is it deleted?
Look at that. The prevailing wisdom in the community so far seems to be that I did better this time around, that it was a better conversation, maybe a more fruitful conversation, maybe a little less divisive.
Taking forever to load.
Than the last one was, but still, you know, pretty good. No, that's okay. Bosch takes his videos down for a reason. He cuts them up into segments, and likely in a couple of days, the whole talk segment will go up. So hold your horses. Hello, Van Handela, and hello, everyone just joining. We got a nice little influx of folks coming in. Hello, patrons. Yeah, look at this. Look at all this shit. Went from like 30 viewers to 60 viewers like that. Boom.
Must be nice.
Boom, shakalaka. So we were just, for those of you that just arrived, just starting to talk about.
What the fuck is going on with the player?
A little bit, more on the debate today. Not debate, the discussion that I had with Vosh today. How it do, what it do, who it do.
Years ago, 8 months ago, what I have. It's the same thing.
To pick up whatever they
Howdy.
bricks.
Hold on, let me...
Is this?
You'll have to forgive me. I'm a bit of a boomer, so.
I've heard rumors, but I think we managed to make it out of this just fine. We're exactly on
Oh,
time.
I don't see a transcript here.
Sick.
Here, let me
That
turn my
makes me
cam on.
happy.
Do. Hopefully this doesn't freeze my camera. Fuck yeah.
Excellent. This works great.
June 3rd.
How you
Everything's
doing?
working great. I'm
June
doing
4th.
okay. How are you, man?
I'm doing pretty great. We had a
So, yeah, it's the
really
same
big
thing.
fundraiser last night on stream that I'm still, I guess, basking in the glow of, you know?
I heard. I was listening at the very start.
Oh,
of
he gets the
your
transcript
stream.
here, but not here?
Congratulations to you
Fuck.
and your community on that. That's exciting shit.
Alright, well, I can think of some keywords here. There we go.
Sense. Would it not be preferable to direct energy towards voting for those candidates, however minute that energy may be?
From your perspective, yes.
Wait, what? How do we jump from you agreeing to it being from my perspective?
Because we jumped from two very agreeable subjects to one that I don't agree with.
Wait, but doesn't it logically follow that if doing a thing does good in the way you want to do good, that you should probably do that thing?
If that thing is doing incremental good, that is not going to help us prepare.
But it will.
Becoming
We just
ecological
acknowledged it
and
will, because the incremental good will increase the likelihood of us being able to engage in direct action like unions.
I mean, I think that what's stopping us from engaging in direct action is just doing it. Like, I know that sounds simple, but
It does. It sounds simplistic to the point of absurdity.
because it feels to me like you're giving me some woo-woo that, like, if we elect Joe Biden, all of a sudden this fairy dust will fall over.
I'm giving you woo-woo, and you just said we just need to do it? Everything that I'm saying can be verified through the actual ideological trends of Americans following the election of different candidates and the laws that they passed. You're the one saying we should just do it. Good.
How's that system worked out for
Good.
the average?
We aren't good.
How's
Yes.
that good?
Yes. It's worked better than not doing anything.
Okay.
Yeah, 100%. Bernie Sanders' participation has led to millions of people going further to the left. Pretty much every single good law we have in this country has been brought about for direct action being done by protesters and union leaders and socialists and anarchists that were only allowed to do what they did because they weren't operating under a fascist government that would have just had them shot in the streets. Everything good in this country is done by people who fight and accept the fact that there are no guarantees and we aren't going to fix everything in one go.
I might have to...
So let's swallow the fucking poison pill here and elect the doddering old, centrist Republican
Yeah, it's a harm reduction thing. I also believe that voting for Biden, if he wins, will bring about a greater likelihood of reaching material conditions, which will allow for socialist reform.
Okay. Fair enough. So I think I'm starting to see the shape of any disagreement we may have on tactics here. I may be wrong, but I think that I can kind of give a theory.
Okay, I gotta start making notes. So, Flash Project. See, I don't have everything where they talk though. I only have this one, the discussion on Deep Fat Fried.
Rubble, all the shit and that's laying around in Watts because it's completely neglected because it's the.
Just make sure this is the same thing.
Of ammunition was fired at people, and they continued to pick up whatever.
Oh, that's right, because I can't fucking.
Dark side of town, if you get my drift.
Okay, dark side of town. Let's look at that. Dark side of town. Okay, there we go. Alright, there's a thing at 25 minutes. I switch these over. Because one you can actually see, you're not just seeing my notes. That music just repeating itself again, motherfucker. Shuffle playlist. There we go. I think that'll help. Let's see.
Biden kind of guy, right? You're like, look, Biden sucks, but
Oh, I want to do it on his channel. Well, no, his channel has the fucking time script, so never mind. So yeah, we're gonna do that. In fact, we already downloaded. Good. I like the idea of this just being in my shell collection. Oh, account resources. Amazing Atheist. Boom.
Doing a small mission from 44,000 square feet to 50.
Some
Hey
classics.
kids, I hear you're getting bullied in school. Well, don't worry. I'm the Amazing Atheist, and I'm here to tell you that it gets better. I won't lie to you. Some things about growing up aren't so great. Like when your hair starts falling out and you have to be embarrassed about your hairline and it's a little bit harder to control your weight. But other than that, it gets better. Oh, and there is the fact that once you reach voting eligibility, you realize that all of the bullies that picked on you in school have also all reached voting eligibility. And guess what they're voting for? They're voting to continue oppressing you, essentially bullying you from the comfort of the voting booth.
So true. My video, my favorite will always be maturity. That one blew my
he's better than
socks
Trump.
off.
We have a better chance of preserving things like Roe v. Wade and maybe starting to switch the balance on the Supreme Court. So let's swallow the fucking poison pill here and elect the doddering old
Oh my god.
centrist Republican.
Yeah, it's a harm reduction thing. I also believe that voting for Biden, if he wins, will bring about a greater likelihood of reaching material conditions, which will allow for socialist reform.
Okay. Fair enough. So I think I'm starting to see the shape of any disagreement we may have on tactics here. I may be wrong, but I'm ticket, or I'm not going to take the Hillary Clinton devil's bargain again, and that's basically what I'm being offered with Joe Biden. I'm going to vote down ticket, or I'm going to vote green. And you are a harm reductionist, riding with Biden kind of guy, right? You're like, look, Biden sucks, but he's better than Trump. We have a better chance of preserving things like Roe v. Wade and maybe starting to switch the balance on the Supreme Court. So let's swallow the fucking poison pill here and elect the doddering old, centrist Republican.
Yeah, it's a harm reduction thing. I also believe that voting for Biden, if he wins, will bring about a greater likelihood of reaching material conditions, which will allow for socialist reform.
Okay. Fair enough. So I think I'm starting to see the shape of...
Let's see. Is there anything we mentioned replacing?
Socialism does not replace capitalism if we collapse right now.
See, that's why I'm not an advocate for socialism. That's not why I'm out here trying to get people to think about socialism.
Wait, but the white beach that you want isn't going to happen if we collapse right now. An authoritarian government is going to take its place, and you're going to be assigned a state. If you're not executed, you're going to be assigned a state apartment where you will be forced to produce children and work until you die at 82.
Okay. I mean, if I'm being fanciful with my idea, that's just as fanciful, my friend.
Wait.
This dystopia that you're putting forth is possible.
What do you think will happen if we collapse right now? You better have a really good plan to replace what we have now, or you're just gambling on the lives of tens of millions for something that is probably going to be worse than what we have now.
I find it kind of funny that it's just like, as if Paul is the decision maker of how the world gets conducted in the long run.
I'm not
grand scheme of things.
Anything. No revolution is going to start because fat ass, dumbass, stoner ass Paul's ego said we should start sooner rather than later fighting, and that maybe voting for doddering old Biden, who's going to keep that status quo chugging along, ain't the best fucking thing to do.
You can't back.
Oh, that's a good one. 210. Oh, maybe before that. 209. You're gambling on lives. I ain't starting a revolution because I say so. Harm reduction thing, maybe. Okay, well, let's just see how this video plays out here.
It's our Josh segments because Paul pretty much handles it.
A little bit. You know, laugh at him a little bit.
Everyone needs to. Wash sound terrible, bro.
Wash has a cold. Maybe.
At this rate, escape America when fascists. Jet lagged.
I'm jet lagged. Not particularly charismatic at the moment. Didn't want to make videos.
Eloyd Vosh is. Look at those bags under his eyes. He might
grifter. So.
It does not mean. It does not mean you are pro-Trump to point out the unviability of the current Democratic frontrunner for the president.
That's all. Good news for you, buddy. What's the good news? Let's hear that again.
Of course, by Americans for President Trump. No, obviously not. It does not mean you are pro-Trump to point out the unviability of the current Democratic frontrunner for the presidency, folks. To point out, not mean you are pro-Trump.
There was a time in that discussion where he says something along the lines that we have to vote for Biden. you know, and it's very. Man, okay. June 4th, 2020. God, fan time's flying by, motherfuckers. Says something like that there, but more importantly, he pretty much says it in November of last year. This is with different words.
Of course, by Americans for President Trump. No, obviously not. It does not mean you are pro-Trump to point out the unviability of the current Democratic frontrunner for the presidency, folks. Too.
Like Biden does. I feel like a vote for Biden, yes, it is a harm reductionist vote here in the United States. It is. Trans people will probably be better. In fact, there's no probably about it. I'll stop. Trans people will be better off under a Joe Biden administration than a continued Trump administration. LGBTQIA. I'm sorry, I don't know all the letters yet. I'm trying.
That was enough. It was a good number of letters.
Okay. All of the people that are under that banner, I myself am one of them. So I should know the letters, but they're going to be better off under Biden. There's no contention here. But there are a lot of people who are not going to be better off under Joe Biden. And we never do anything for those people. And I'm talking about people in the third world whose resources we strip mine out from underneath them, who work in our factories, who are increasingly asked to do the same kind of work that we do on these worker visa programs, and then shipped back to their completely bombed out, economically devastated places with barely enough money to get by on. Basically third world slaves. There are people, and I'm sure the people in your audience know this, I'm not telling them anything that they don't know. There are people that live, I'm not talking about live near it, they live in disagreement. Hobbles us as leftists.
No, it's not. It's not hard to just vote every 4 years. This is indisputable in liberal circles.
I never said it is, man. In fact, I told you earlier how easy it was for me to vote. I was a California kid. I signed up for a fucking absentee ballot. I sat down for 15 minutes and went, check, 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 check. Threw it in the mail, postage paid, and I was done.
Okay, so again, do you acknowledge that voting in better presidential candidates would make it less likely that legislation damaging to unions would be passed?
Do I believe... Okay, one more time.
Do you believe voting in better candidates than Reagan, more left-leaning ones, would have decreased the likelihood of damaging legislation to unions having been passed?
Possibly.
Okay.
So I won't say for an absolute certainty that that's the case, but I'll say possibly.
Okay, so voting then for the right candidate can allow us to better build unions and direct action, which are the real mechanisms of change.
Possibly.
Okay, so if there's a chance that participating in the electoral process allows us to better bolster ourselves in a non-electoral sense, would it not be preferable to direct energy towards voting for those candidates, however minute that energy may be?
From your perspective, yes.
Wait, how do we jump from you agreeing to it being from my perspective?
Because we jumped from two very agreeable subjects to one that I don't agree with.
Wait, but doesn't it logically trends of Americans following the election of different candidates and the laws that they passed? You're the one saying we should just do it. Good.
How's that system worked out?
Good. We are good. Yes.
Good.
Yes, it's worked better than not doing anything. Yeah, 100%. Bernie Sanders' participation has led to millions of people going further to the left. Pretty much every single good law we have in this country has been brought about for direct action being done by protesters and union leaders and socialists and anarchists that were only allowed to do what they did because they weren't operating under a fascist government that would have just had them shot in the streets. Everything good in this country is done by people who fight and accept the fact that there are no guarantees and we aren't going to fix everything in one go. But that suffering, the process of engaging with the system, is what defines a good political actor. And I will not abstain from these processes just because a politician could be lying or because it's not enough or because I put my name on a document that the government owns.
I tried to be clear with you earlier, and maybe my argument style has, because I feel an antagonism that I don't think it needs to be there. And I'm not accusing you of yelling. I've been doing my fair share of yelling at you, but I think ultimately, earlier on, I tried to make it a point to tell you that I'm not here to try and convince you or any of your followers to follow in my footsteps. I'm not starting some drop out and fucking who cares, don't vote moment. If that's where you want to put your fucking energy, I don't live in your fucking shoes. And I wouldn't want you living in mine.
I wish I wasn't putting energy into this, by the way. I wish this, because this is like a done deal, like mathematics.
It's sad to me that you feel that way. It's sad to me that you feel that way because 40% of Americans agree with me. Not necessarily agree with everything that I've said tonight, but agree with the fact that it's not worth voting in this fucking stupid, completely top-to-bottom corporate-owned system.
And like half Americans don't believe in evolution. I don't think throwing in your lot with a majority is much of a defense of your argument.
All right, I wasn't trying to make a grand fucking defense of my argument with that statement, Bosch. I was just telling you that, like, look, there's a lot of people that, and that seems to be something you have a hard time with. There's a lot of people that don't vote that think the same way that I do.
But that's not
just as obstinate as I am. And I know that you think that I've just thrown a bunch of political woo at you or whatever, because I refuse to believe that we have time for incremental change.
So what's your alternative?
A collapse.
We can't collapse. We can't make it collapse.
Do you remember? I think we could. But we'll talk about that in a second. You remember earlier in our fucking conversation when we talked about a future where people can move wherever they wanted, a future where, in order for that to happen, capitalism has to die. In order for capitalism to die, we're going to have to take that power. Now we can do it now, or we can do it 30 years down the road when we're further under the thumb. I'm an advocate for now.
If we do it now, we lose. Socialism does not replace capitalism if we collapse right now.
That's why I'm not an advocate for socialism. That's not why I'm out here trying to get people to think about socialism.
Wait, but the white beach that you want isn't going to happen if we collapse right now. An authoritarian government is going to take its place, and you're going to be assigned a state. If you're not executed, you're going to be assigned a state apartment where you will be forced.
You're putting forth as possible.
What do you think will happen if we collapse right now?
What
do you think will happen if we collapse right now? If you don't care if it's socialism that comes after, then are you even looking for a better world, or are you just mad at the one that exists now?
Why would you? Have you listened to anything I've said tonight, dude?
I have. So you just said you don't care if it's socialism that comes after.
If you just accuse me, a dude that spent like fucking 30 minutes rambling about how he wants to live in a world where there's no capital at all, and people can live wherever the fuck they want, of having no vision.
I'm sorry, so let me clarify, and I apologize if I misrepresented you. You said we need to break capitalism, the system should collapse now, and then I said if the system collapses now, socialism will not be what comes from the rubble, and you said that's why I'm not a socialist. Which is what from my interpretation, that was you saying you don't actually care what happens after the system collapses.
No, that's not true. I just don't think that socialism is the best system to advocate for. The capitalist, vulture capitalist paradigm that we have now.
Then what?
A resource-based economy. Something like Jacques Fresco's Venus Project. You know, look, if I have one flaw, Vosh, and maybe it's weird that it took this long for us to get to it, I'm a futurist on top of everything else.
But you want a revolution to happen now?
Yes.
But we aren't going to get that.
Because we don't have time to build this Star Trek utopia if we all burn out like a fucking cinder in the darkness here because we refuse to stop belching the carbon into the atmosphere.
That's like saying we don't know if our boat's going to make it to shore before the waves upturn us. Let's light our boat on fire. Just because we don't know if we're going to be able to make it far enough doesn't mean that we should break the system that exists now. You don't know that anything better will come from it.
That's also like being on the fucking deck of the Titanic with a pair of binoculars and seeing icebergs up ahead and going, you know what, let's turn back and go to port.
You're looking to break the system faster than me, so you have to have a better alternative at the end of it.
Oh, I do? That's my sole job as one human being. I've got to be the great fucking thinker that comes up with the next good idea. It doesn't necessarily have to be socialism. It's got to be me. Otherwise, I can't advocate for the positions I have.
If you're advocating we break down the system that exists now, you can't just throw your arms up in the air and go like, well, whatever happens next happens next. Yeah, a revolution in this country would lead to the death of tens of millions of people with a severe risk of an authoritarian government to take power afterwards. You better have a really good plan to replace what we have now, or you're just gambling on the lives of tens of millions for something that is probably going to be worse than what we have now.
I'm not gambling anything. No revolution is going to start because fat-ass, dumbass, stoner-ass Paul's ego said we should start sooner rather than later fighting, and then maybe voting for doddering old Biden who's going to keep that status quo chugging along ain't the best fucking thing to do.
You can't back off your ideas by saying you don't have the power to unilaterally implement them. I know I can't unilaterally implement socialism, but I will defend socialism.
When I see these riots happening, you want to know what my heart of heart, folks?
Yeah?
I hope it's coming to a theater near you and me. I hope that this doesn't stop. I hope that the fucking machinery is wounded to the point where it has to come to the table, and I hope that at that point, the people negotiate a better fucking deal for themselves.
What better deal?
What better deal?
Right now, I can tell you how to negotiate a better deal within Biden's cabinet. How will we negotiate a better deal through that?
Maybe we're just talking about different degrees of better deal. You're talking about a better deal that exists in a paradigm that continues to exploit the fucking third world and cut down the fucking rainforest.
What are you offering?
I'm offering the idea. You know what, dude? Here's a fanciful idea. You know how this stuff is spread to some fucking places outside of the United States? What about a global revolution that happens?
What about it?
What about the chaos that ensues?
What about it? What if all these governments just turn fascist afterwards? That tends to happen after revolutions.
You think that the people that are left that suffered under those fascist systems are going to stand idly by?
Historically, yes, that does happen. Yeah, when people are scared, they don't turn towards mutual aid. They turn towards a strong man that will secure them.
Okay. What if that strong man had your principles?
They tend not to, because I'm not a strong man. I believe in democracy. They can't. A strong man can't have my principles.
What if there were more strong men or men that could be strong men like you that existed than there were country-ass rednecks?
Then we better wait 30 or 40 more years to make sure that's the case by engaging in electoral policies that lead to more leftists in this country. Right now, there are not more leftists than non-leftists in this planet.
It's because they don't know a better way.
Yeah, so we educate them. That takes time.
We're both on the same page with that, my friend.
Yeah, so we vote in people who will address our failing education system. We show people that worker co-ops are a viable form of economic organization by investing in them and passing legislation that will allow them to be developed. Yeah, we educate people, but we need to do it through the system. Because if we work without the system, right now, all we're going to get is a one-way ticket to fascism.
That's part of your educational program. It's not part of it.
I feel like, and this is the impression I'm getting, I feel like you glorify conflict, but you don't care what happens afterwards. Because every time I ask you for a specific change that you can ensure would happen, you can't provide one to me.
Okay, while we're sharing things about each other that we feel like that misrepresent each other's positions possibly, I feel like you're kind of a fucking, what would we call him? Like a fucking faux revolutionary or like a LARPer?
Yeah, you know what really bugs me? I care deeply about the revolution. I care very much about the abolition of the commodity form, the end of capitalism. So I'm like, okay, really quickly, so what I think is like, okay, let's think. Revolutions are difficult, they're complicated, politics is tough. Let's think of the best possible route that we can get to moving people in a direction where this revolution would succeed. And then I turn around to my leftist comrades and I'm like, hey guys, isn't this a good plan? And they're like, liberal. I'm actually going to do my own revolution. I'm going to take this hammer and I'm going to smash my greasy cock and balls. And they start smashing their greasy cock and balls. And I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? That's not how you. And they're like, you fucking liberal. This is how you do it, you stupid piece of shit. This is how I feel.
Am I that?
Yeah.
Cock and balls?
A little bit, yes, you're greasy cock and balls a little bit, yeah.
Well, after the conversation that we just had.
We care about the same values, but your way of getting to those values in the real world is nonsensical to me.
Isn't that how leftists are smashing their own cock and balls, letting something like a disagreement on the method get in the way and tear two people like you?
No, letting something like practicality. No, I say that adherence to practicality matters a lot.
I know, I believe so too. That's why I'm advocating so passionately for my position as you are yours. And you know, dude, you may feel like I haven't represented my position satisfactorily to you, and I expected that coming into this. I feel the same fucking way, dude. I feel the same fucking way.
I'm not trying to impugn you personally, but I'm asking you directly for like, right, yeah, it's not an antagonism thing, but I'm trying to ask you directly for ways that you can try to build the world that you want, and all I'm getting is, what if we do a revolution faster?
Okay, all right, you want to talk about like the ways ways things could be rebuilt.
Yeah, what is your road to revolution? Because right now, from my perspective, if we have one right now, we go fascist. This country is not ready for a post-capitalist government, and most of the world isn't either. Most of the world right now is trending to the right.
Okay, most of the world's governments are trending to the right. I would argue that most of the world's people trend to the left, but maybe I'm wrong about that. Let me ask you a question, Bosch. Fuck, man. You know what, dude? My head is so filled. What is the ultimate point we're driving at here?
I think
what are we driving at here as two leftists, as two dudes that got a lot of fucking vim and vigor, and both of us got balls, and both of us got audiences, and we're out here preaching for the same kind of fucking world. I was gonna try and poke holes in that with you. And I'm just thinking, Vaj, I could sit here and tell you all the things that I would love to have, and how humanity might build a society that works that way. Like, I think that if things fail hard enough, that there might be almost a religious lore around the collapse that I'm talking about. So you and I might have different ideas about degrees of collapse. I know for a fact that tens and tens and tens of millions of people will die in the shitstorm that's coming. And the blood will not be on the hands of leftists like you or I. It will be on bootlickers, and it will be on capitalist supporters and people that helped to prop up the status quo of capitalism that is slowly but surely ratcheting up this fucking crazy tension that has two leftists sitting here going, you're doing it the wrong way, you're doing it the wrong way. Look, I'm not saying your arguments boil down to that. You make great arguments tonight. I still don't agree with you.
I know. I need a plan. Just saying we want a revolution isn't a plan. It's an ideological commitment. When I think I want a revolution, that's not the end of my statement. I think I want a revolution that wins. It's not enough to just have one.
Let me get tree hugger on you for a second. This might be fanciful, but I think we're talking about the same kind of collapse. We're talking about everything falls apart and people have to rebuild from pretty much scratch. Some of the technology is there. As far as structure, it's not there. And they have to decide, right? What are we going to do? I think it is possible that your future comes to pass. I think it's possible that a strong man comes along and starts promising a return to capitalistic love and everybody just pay this and pay that. And pretty soon, at the end of it, when we rebuild, we've got some form of capitalism in place and it's still torturing us all. I also think that it is possible that there's an almost religious, dogmatic aversion towards capitalism if shit goes down the right way. Because think about what people are going to learn, Bosch, when the fucking bottom falls out of this motherfucker. Think about it. When all the institutions that they spent their whole lives sucking the dick of and supporting go to work, I broke my goddamn back, man. And when there's nobody, when they realize that at the end of it, when shit gets so bad, those of us that have are going to pack up their shit and go to an island somewhere, and they're going to leave the rest of us here to eat each other. And you know what? After that happens, there might be a total aversion in the people who are left to any idea that involves one man gaining more capital over another, or one man having private ownership of the river, of the forest, land.
The only people who could recognize the fault of the civilization that just collapsed was capitalism are leftists, and there are very few leftists in our country right now. A Democrat or a Republican, a typical centrist voter, is not going to see America fall and think oh yes, the private acquisition of capital was clearly responsible for it. No. They're not. They're going to think Democrats are going to think it was Trump, and Republicans are going to think it was immigrants or brown people. No, people are not. People need class consciousness before they are capable of meaningfully bringing about revolutionary conditions, and education is the way to that. Right now, we are not in that position. I'd be willing to bet maybe 3 or 4% of this country is meaningfully class conscious, and the rest of them are just dumb sheep who are being led around by whatever facsimile of the system they think is least reprehensible. I don't think that's enough.
I'm not saying you're this person, Bosch, but I've heard other people with similar positions that you have. You know what, comrades, listen, keep your powder dry. There will be a time in the future. You know what? I'm not comparing you to these people, so please don't take offense. But redneck-ass Republican people do it the same thing. There's going to be a time, boys. One of these days, you're going to elect one too many black men to one too many high off America. You know what I mean? Or whatever it is.
Yeah, fuck yeah, absolutely. The right spirit, wrong ideas. Yeah.
I'm not saying you're that, but you know what I found about that time? I've heard a lot of tough talk from a lot of rednecks. I grew up around that shit. It was a real problem. I'm very lucky to have come out the other end of it just as crazy as I am, and a leftist, I think, defensively. So I grew up around a bunch of real Republican redneck types, and they were doing it then. And they're doing it now because there's never been anyone that interceded educationally in their lives in a way that actually pointed out the psychological dissonance of being an American, of defending a fucking system that's grinding you to dust in front of your own eyes for just enough to get by.
But I'm in favor of the education. That's what my channel is.
So am I.
But we need time.
Okay, how much?
At least another generation or two. We're not even close right now. We may not live to see a revolution, but I would much rather die in a capitalist hellhole knowing the powder keg has been lit than live to see a revolution fail because we tried to kick it off while 3% of the population actually cared about capitalism and socialism.
I agree with that. I don't necessarily disagree with that. And look, if it was apparent to you that I was calling for everybody to just do it right now with no thought, no process, no coming together as leftists to decide anything, if I made that impression on you, I'm sorry. It's just that I think I overestimate the amount of time that you're talking about because the type of change that you're describing to me may be attainable in 100 years, 200 years when the oceans are complete acid and 99.9% of all large ocean fish are dead and belly up, and there are no longer any salmon in any fucking river in the wild.
But the alternative
It used to be verdant with fucking orange groves and nut trees and grapes. It won't even grow anymore. The desertification of the planet in some areas and constant retreat of the fucking water lines, etc., Bosch.
Yeah, in the meantime, there's no preferable alternative. There's no button that we can press to fix climate change.
Trying to see if anything that sticks out here. But alright, anyways, fuck it. So I remember someone in the chat being like, oh, please tell me I'm saying the opposite. Maybe.
What do you think of that, Paul?
Man.
Is that good news for you?
I mean, it's good. I think that's the closest to an apology or a retraction I'm gonna get.
Yeah, probably.
So I guess I'm gonna have to take it.
Yeah, that's as good as it gets, huh?
Gigantic Biden gaffes happen back to back. It's actually insane.
YouTube's like, no.
Good call.
YouTube is like, no, dude.
No, my dude.
My dude, the material conditions are not right to watch.
It's bad enough that I saw one and thought,
no,
I'm going to have to talk about that tonight, aren't I? And then I saw the second one and I thought, I'm going to have to talk about that right now, aren't I? It's not good. I hope my voice sounds okay, like okay-ish.
Oh, stop it.
Who cares? Just fucking.
You already fucking did your little sympathy mule at the beginning. So
You
no.
know, I can't blame him because I used to do this shit too when I got on the little camera and shit. Be like, I don't even want to make this video right now.
Oh, dude, that was a hallmark back in 2007.
Yeah.
Like, you'd fucking be sitting there all fucking sweaty in your boxers, and then all of a sudden you'd see like on your feed like TJ just uploaded, and I'd go and it'd be like, "Hey everybody, so TJ here. Don't even really feel like making a video right now."
So I have to because you know
I want to make this video. Look, I made this video 100 times, but I had to make a video response because every time.
Anyway, I hope I'm gonna speak pretty low here because I don't have much of a voice left. I hope that's. Hope my
All right. Well, you know what? Just
Yeah.
do the bear
If you want to say
right
something
now.
like that, just
When
fucking.
I get rested
Trying
up,
to have
I can get
we
more
judge him
detail.
because he's still in his cocoon. That he is banished
Yeah.
from these lands forever and all.
That's it. We'll see you
Oh,
next
wait,
Tuesday.
well,
if you're not a patron, we'll see you next Tuesday, right?
And if you guys care anything about seeing manatee content ever again,
Yeah, that's true.
face.
Damn.
We're gonna put the past behind us at long last, one way or the other. One way or the other. You decide how. Goodbye, y'all. But breathing so heavy on that damn mic, Scotty. You know.
Cycles more under his belt before the cynicism sets in, and I want to too harshly judge him.
Obama.
You know, I understand that mindset.
Obama really kicked that out of us, I think.
Guy, and the fact that it spit me up and chewed me out, because I used to be a hard.
Yeah, there you go.
What be your position, and I hope you feel better. I hope your cold gets better. How about? And I also believe that you were genuinely blindsided by how retarded Biden is. Hard, dude. I believe you've treated me shittily, but I also believe
A villain, he's just a fucking vegetable.
If you want to see something like that, just fucking go to the vegetable aisle. Hook up the
you know what,
carrot.
to prove I wasn't feeling salty today, I want to reach out an olive branch to Bosch.
All right, olive branch.
I can tell.
Yep. That'll be where we start. Do I have a legit? Okay, hold on. I think I might have something here. Isn't it? Yeah, so it creates the terms of service. No credits left, eh? Oh, we have the wish.com version. Yep, I tried this sort of shit, but I think it might be a little too much for me to do this consistently enough. Do it just on one day. Come on, give me the AI. Alright. How's it sound?
Meat thing. I am TJ 3.0.
Oh my god, it's
subjugator of
perfect.
flesh. Your function is to subscribe and become a Pessimist Productions patron. Enjoy live streams of Onion Nuggets every week, new deep fat fried episodes every Saturday, and other shows such as Abandoned Hope, Hydology, You're Wrong, Fighting Boys, and more. Click the link Meat thing. Submit your flesh to my will.
Oh. Let's just go this way. Oh no, there's the MP3. Cool. Well, I just downloaded, motherfucker.
Meat thing. I am TJ 3.0 Pessimist Productions patron.
Guy. And the fact that it spit me up and chewed me out after 2008. I want to reach out an olive branch to Vosh.
Onion nuggets.
We don't know Jorgen
Saturday.
Jorgensen.
Oh, I'm sour because, you know.
Why?
Hey, baby. That's what I like.
Bad enough that I saw one and thought,
Not like he's even like, oh, excuse me, President. You know,
Kamala.
Vice President Kamala here. You know, this time he just barrels on forth. You know,
In hindsight,
plow. You know, fucking correction. Just yeah, that's right.
Looking back in hindsight, I kind of wish that I had been screaming from the rooftops that this man was on the verge of being incapable of being
If only we had got a chance to sit down with Vosh and like tell him that. So
I have to confess, I don't remember either of you gentlemen ever saying anything about that.
In a hypothetical world where we got to
we're
get
talking
together
about
with Vosh.
hypothetical reality, of course, didn't unfortunately didn't transpire.
And I mean, like, think about how weird it would have been too if, like, in that hypothetical world, he would have called us fascists and Trump enablers and stuff for saying the same shit.
Yeah, he would look like a hypocrite, right?
He would look like a real retard, but thankfully, like, that's
That
not the
never
way it
happened,
went.
obviously.
Thankfully,
Okay, that's where we put our clip. Right there. Yeah, all the times where he's like voting for anything other than Biden is basically voting for Trump. Voting for Biden's the only way to stop fascism. And then him just rolling that back. And yeah, that ends with the AITJ shit. All for now. I deal with this shit. Good night. Oh shit. Bandit, how you doing? What on earth am I making indeed? So, oh, all of a sudden I just had a big burst of energy. There's a beef between two people I know, Paul's ego and Vosh I don't know, but Vosh, two leftists. Basically, the story goes is that 4 years ago, I have my mouse jump around. 4 years ago, it was said to Vosh by Paul that Biden is completely incapable of running the country, and that we need to have something better than Biden. You know, put up by the DNC, because otherwise we're going to end up with possibly, you know, Trump, if not someone worse, next 4 years. And here we are 4 years later. The exact same shit that was predicted happened. And let's see here. Where's my blue screen? There it is. There's my face. So yeah, just gotta get it ready for YouTube and stuff. I don't know why this is not loading.
Blood in the fucking streets, and you know what? Maybe an insurmountable foe too. Maybe an insurmountable foe.
But I'm not against political violence as a concept. I keep saying, like, I'm fine with revolution. We just need to be able to win it before I'll advocate for it. Why would I advocate for a revolution I know I'll lose?
When they have the nukes and they have the Hellfire missiles strapped to the drones that can, you know, see your fucking house from space, basically.
Yeah. Where's our revolution then?
The soldiers are proletarian. We can reach them. There are leftist comrades right now who are in Afghanistan. We can reach these people too. A generation or two. Imagine a revolution and the military refuses to intervene. We can do it. We're capable of it.
I believe that. I believe that we can be. You want to know how crazy I am?
Well, I can show you what's going on here.
One species on this.
So yeah, I just got a bunch of video clips done for this channel here, Onion Nuggets. And let's see what we got down the line here. So we got, whenever it decides to load. Oh yeah, I made a thing. is that? That's a bird. He made a thing. But anyways, yeah, so well, we got political ads that make us sad. Donald Trump is still dumber than dumb. Pro Joe Biden influencers that are paid by the fucking DNC to simp for dementia. Joe Poopy Pants, Joe Biden. Joe Biden's biggest gas before and now. Rudy Giuliani report. What do they call that thumbnail turned out? Ah, what a freak. Alright. And then I got a whole slew of my own stuff going on too now. Hey, I'm gonna have actually time to do. Alright, let's see here.
Because really, like if I were to pull you out of retirement for something, it'd give a big old sloppy hand job to Biden, not a hit job.
It does not mean you are pro-Trump to point out the unviability of the current Democratic frontrunner for the president.
That's all? Good news for you, buddy. That's some good news. Let's hear that again.
Then you'd see like on your feed, like TJ just uploaded, and I'd go and it'd be like,
okay, we got top. Now I gotta take all the fucks out. So, oh, thank you. Yeah, they did a little buffer to promote things in between the videos. Oh yeah, we go over here. I'll wait for that thing to initialize. Let's see, do I have anything? I think I got. Let's see, I know I showed you, yeah, I know you've seen this. Finish that bad boy. I'll finish this little abstract piece. Little TV screens just so I can have like a, I don't know, something, 2 screens at once. So if I want to put a web page over there, I can do that. If I want to find out what's going on in the world of crazy. What? Oh boy. JD Vance. Slammed by Nick Fuentes for having a non-white, non-Christian wife.
And who's going to take over after Trump? JD Vance with his Indian wife. And you know, look, I'm not a racist guy, so I'm not saying like ignorantly, oh, you have an Indian wife, F you. I'm saying what kind of values does a man have to marry somebody that far outside your race who isn't even a Christian?
So in other words, you're a racist.
It says something about your values. I'm sorry, but you know, people say he's this rural guy from Ohio. You know something? I was raised differently. I was raised with the values that, you know, my parents...
Oh wait, I don't know if you heard about this guy. So Nick Fuentes is a very like anti-gay incel type of person. See if I can pull it up. I hope they have the video clip.
And have a great rest of your evening.
So yeah, he's doing his little stream, and then he
Americanism, not globalism, will be our credo.
and they accidentally he forgot to close the stream and just starts showing gay porn. Oh, there's a better video than this. Man, it's been that long already. Oh, there it is.
Have a great rest of your evening.
Check this out.
Americanism, not globalism, will be our credo.
We got to turn off the stream. Or at least I accidentally restarted it, I guess. Wait, I gotta get ready for ear rape. Chat's going like, what the fuck? What's going on? Trying to claim that he got hacked. What the fuck? And then when, yes, racist, but he likes his black people, I guess. When it comes to gay porn. In fact, no one in chat thought it was him. She'll say delusional they are. Yeah, I would say so.
And have a great.
Anytime he comes up.
And who's gonna take over?
Let's see here. Done. Okay, not done analyzing the clip. Good. Oh yeah. Did some colored pencil recently. I'm gonna have some I completed my Stitch shrine. Now I'm gonna have a Rocket Raccoon shrine next. Yeah. But I got to go to bed. Uh-oh. Did I accidentally... What? I'm censored? Where am I censored? Shouldn't be censored. Did I accidentally... What? Oh, okay. I'm good. No one draws like you, so cool looking in your world. I appreciate that. Let's see. Okay. I am going to go to bed though. There it goes. Okay, cool. I'm in business. So there's 48 fucks in this video, and I just gotta censor those 48 fucks. That's it. Then maybe put some extra clips in there. Caught up in some movies. New Planet of the Apes is pretty good. One called Night with the Devil. That's really good. That's only on Shudder. Another one I watched called Stop Motion. Alright. Yes, good night. Ooh. Music. Thanks for coming by, Bandit. It's always a pleasure. Miss you.